Hello and welcome back to another video. This one will be a fun one. I'll give you a quick second to tell me what this is. If you guessed Firefox, you will be absolutely correct. And if you're wondering what the heck is going on, in this video I will tell you how to customize Firefox, how to get a general setup running, and in this age of AI, to be honest, you don't need a whole lot to get the customization going. You just need a basic understanding of programming, not that deep, and I'll walk you through what I did personally. And I'll just say it off the bat, I'm not an absolute expert at this. I don't know every single details that goes through this, but I try my best to explain how I did it personally. So if any of you are wanting to get a basic setup up and running, or if you're willing to customize your own system, you don't know where to start from, this is a great video for you. So without further ado, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video if you do find it helpful, follow me on the socials and all that other stuff, or if you want to have fun or any other questions, make sure to join the Discord server. Any suggestions, put it in the comments and I'll try to check them whenever I get the chance. So now, the first question that all of you are asking, what the heck, how do I search in this? If you don't know, every browser has this command called Ctrl-L, which allows you to search or focus your title bar. Now you can see as soon as I pressed Ctrl-L, this thing popped up. And yes, this is basically our title bar where you have all your settings and stuff. And when you're not searching, or basically when it's not focused, it just hides away. It's really beneficial for website. So let me just go somewhere. Let's go to YouTube. So if I just search for YouTube, I also have dark reader on this, so the pages look absolutely clean. So here's, for example, YouTube. As you can see, there's no search link, and this is the default setting. You don't have to go full screen for this. By default, it will give you this much real estate. Now, if I do Windows F, which is my keybind for making it full screen, you can see it basically looks like an application. It almost doesn't look like an web page. And that was the goal for this. Now, you might be wondering, well, where are my tabs? Now, I'm using something called tree style tabs, which gives me a vertical tab. Now, why this instead of the top bar? Now, I couldn't figure out how to get the Firefox's default tab to kind of be like this toggleable, so where I can toggle this whenever I want. So if any of you have any idea how to get that to work, let me know in the comments. But I couldn't figure it out, so I just used tree style tabs, which has a default keybind of F1, and which if I press it, it just toggles between having it and not having it. Now that's great. So whenever me personally, whenever I go to a new tab, you can see it's blank. I just kept it blank as I couldn't figure out how to put something else or any other index page on here. I could probably figure it out if I give it more time, but I have only been doing this for a day or two. So the fact that without having any experience I got here, it's a miracle. Now, this is my bookmarks. It's Ctrl B to get the bookmarks, then Ctrl H to get my history. So most of the things that you would need is available, but it just looks like a blank screen. So if I just close this, let me tell you how to kind of get this setup up and running. The first thing you need is Firefox itself. And after you go into Firefox, also another cool feature, I'm sorry, it's a lot of things I did. I'm really excited to show you guys this, but you can see it's like kind of a reddish tint to it. Like everything has that reddish color. I configured Wallust with this. If you don't know what Wallust is, it's basically a dynamic color generator. It generates color based on your wallpaper. So I'll just open up my terminal kind of to show you what I mean. So if I just change my wallpaper, let's say this one, my favorite wallpaper so far, it will kind of change the whole thing. You can see that my way bar changes, and yeah, it does need a bit of work still. And I think this needs a bit of a refresh, but you can see it changes colors. And if I go into Firefox, you'll see the whole theme changes. It kind of adapts to the wallpaper as well. So if I go to Ctrl-L, you can see everything kind of has this bluish tone to it. If I even go to the sidebar, yeah, I need to configure this, but you can see the buttons are bluish. And most of the things that is in Firefox, like all the buttons and stuff, does have this bluish tone. And it's not this. Any wallpaper I put on here, let's say for example this, like it won't like refresh immediately, but if you have a wallpaper set and then open up the browser, it will kind of adapt to that wallpaper. And yeah, like I said, I couldn't figure out how to kind of refresh it on the go, but hey, it at least works. So that was a lot of things that I showed off. I'll kind of show off like how all of this works, which I was showing. So first, let's go to Firefox or any browser of your choice. Not any browser. You need Firefox for this. We are configuring Firefox. So Control L, and then what I want to do is go to About and then Config. So this right here. Now, if you go here, you'll get this caution page right here, which will say changing advanced configuration preference can impact Firefox's performance or security. And yes, that's true. If you absolutely don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be here. And yeah, it does have a lot of things that you can configure. But if I just press on this, because these are all the values that are configured, we don't need all of this. We need something called toolkit. Now, if I just search for toolkit, you'll see there's only one value right here, which we need, which is toolkit legacy user profile customization .style sheet. Now, I'll just keep that on here. There we go. And what does this do? Well, it enables Firefox to have a CSS customized file that Firefox can use to integrate into its existing customization. So that's something to keep in note of. So what you have to do in here, you'll see this will be by default false, and you have to change it to true. So just click this. It's a boolean value, so it will just toggle between true and false. And once you see it's a bit bolder, so if it's not bold, it's like the default value. If you press this and you see this icon and it's a bit bold, that means you have changed it. So it is turned on. So now once you have this set to true, now Firefox can use something called user. I'll just show you. That's much better. And after you have done that, I'll just close this page. Oh, I closed the whole Firefox. But anyway, after you have done that, we can do about and then, about support. Now, why do we need this? In this section, you'll see something called profile directory. Now, what that legacy toolkit does, it allows you to customize your profile. So any profile you're using, if you're using anything other than default, so for me, I'm just using the default profile and I'm just customizing on that. If you are using any other profile, which I haven't set up, like I said, on most videos, I'm completely transparent here. I don't say stuff that I don't know. So that's why some of you, like I missed some of your comment because I'm not absolutely sure about it. So that's why I don't just randomly throw stuff around. And I do appreciate any of you who comment and correct me. So thank you all of you who just watched the video patiently and kind of correct me. Anyway, you see this right here, and in here you can open the directory. For me, it just opens up in the terminal, and that's absolutely great because, well, we need to create a folder here, and the folder will be called Chrome, ironically. So to create a folder called Chrome, you can do mkdir and then -p/Chrome. Now you can see, you can press that, and I already have this, so I don't know, like I can't create it, but if you press enter, let me see if I can make this other. Anyway, if you just press enter here, you can see that it will create a folder. Once you have that folder, you just go into it like this, and now this is where the fun begins. And if I just ls this, you can see there is three things: userChrome.css, usercolor.css. This is for Wallust. I'll show it to you in a bit, but then we have usercontent.css. So there we go. These are the things that you need. These two files right here, userChrome and usercontent. This is a file that will be generated by Wallust itself. So you don't need this if you are manually customizing it. Now let's take a look at this one right here, because this is the only thing that I customized. I didn't touch this one right here, and I don't even know what that does. So I'll be completely honest. But if I just open code here, I'll just open it with VsCode, as it will be kind of really nice to give you a really visual outcome of what you're looking at. There you go. So you can see I am importing this user CSS here. In case you didn't know how to do this, there you go. But what this is doing is this is my color file. So these are like variables that I'm defining for each colors. And to be honest, if you are working with colors, it's really nice to have them stored in a separate variable or separate place where you can just change it to different values. And yeah, I think I could have changed this, but yeah, never mind. But then you can see that this is basically hiding our horizontal tab completely. So if you haven't, like I said, noticed, since this is, oh, sorry, I'll just close this. I'll close this for now. You can see there is nothing on here. Usually when you open up Firefox, there is the tabs and stuff that is on here. So what this is doing is kind of hiding it. So you can see it says navigation toolbox, nav bar. So nav bar is the top bar that you see. And I don't completely understand everything on here. I'm just giving you a general overview of like what I have done here. And most of this I generated with Gemini and stuff. So, and I changed up a few things to kind of make it do what I wanted to do. But this page right here, this is not here. This is to kind of get the overall setup of this running. This is a separate setup itself to have this home page. So first I'm just giving a general overview of how this works. So you can see that this is main window, not in full screen. So this is basically saying like the whole main window, and when it's not in full screen, the color will still be you see background, which like I said, I'm pulling from the wallpaper itself and storing it in this color folder right here. So it's the equivalent of typing this into here. Now you can see these are all the things that we're setting this to, like the background of. So you can see whenever I do this, the whole bar right here, like if I just there you go. Now, if I just show you like this, you can see this thing just blends in with this background right here. That's because this background and the background of this thing right here is using literally the same colors. And you'll notice that whenever I move my mouse or focus on something else, it just goes away. That's because in here somewhere, well, I'll show you that it is configured. So whenever it is in focus, this will pop up. If it's not in focus, it will not pop up. So in here, you can see the tabs toolbar, the title bar, the tabs new tab button, basically everything that has to be in the top section that's usually on there, which has the toolbar, title bar, even the tabs and new tab button, everything, the visibility is collapsed. So it's just disappeared basically, and we just set the display to none so it doesn't show. Then you can see that it says remove space where tab used to be. So this is just wherever the tabs were on the top section, we just remove any extra spaces. Let's say I put it at 2. So if I just close this, so yeah, I think it just pulls it down a bit. If I do 20px, you can see that the top section right here it pops up. So this is basically where the navigation bar used to be. You know what? I think I like it a lot to have this bar, but yeah, no, never mind. Kind of looks odd. So yeah, I'll put it at 0. But hey, you can have this and play around with it however you like it. And then we have the tab background, tab browser tabs. We are setting the animations to none, so there is no animation for this. So the top tab. So since we are just showing like the hidden tabs from producing animations, so every tab that is like hidden, we don't want them to do any animations or stuff, so that will just cause weird glitches. And I'll just close this for now. And you can see hide the thin line between the navigation bar and the web page content. So basically the bar that used to be like used to split the navigation bar and the web page. So let me just show. Why do I close this? So basically a bar right here that usually sits, we just made it disappear. And this is something that I couldn't, like, it didn't work really well for me. So I still have it here, but I don't know why it's like being weird. So what the URL bar means is the search bar itself. So I was saying like this right here is our URL bar. So anything we do to the URL bar, any settings we change on it, any configurations we change on it, will affect this right here. So this bar right here. So we're just setting the background color. We're setting a backdrop filter for it. So basically a glow type of thing, which is going on here. But I don't know, I can't see a glow on here. So there's also a border. Let me just remove the border. Let's see what happens. Yep. So if I just remove it, it just doesn't have that bright border that it used to have. Oh, I think this is the glowy thing that we have. What if I do like 25? So there is a blue border on here, but yeah, I don't think like it's like doing too much. I do 1x, and instead of this, I'll just use the accent color. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, there you go. So you can see this just now, the bottom one uses an accent color. Hey, if I just change it to 0, does it show the accent color? Hold up. Nope, it doesn't show it. So yeah, and let's do this. I'll have this right here. And as you can see here, this whole thing now has a hover, like a border whenever we hover over it. But since it's not shown that much, I'll just remove this. It's not needed. And you can see that these are pretty straightforward. You can actually just change the background colors. You have your hovers. So see, hover effects, subtle change using the background accent mix. And since we don't actually see it that much, it's not that important. Let us change this to accent color. And then here we can see, okay, so I think I can put this right here. And what this will do, this should actually, since it says focus true, it says it adds glow using the dynamic shadow variable, but it should actually change the color of it as well. So let's see. No, this thing still has this. I think it's a default Firefox thing. So yeah, what is this? Yeah, so like I said, and here you can see your inputs and suggestions fixes. So there's like when there is suggestions, so it's like paddings are like 10px. We are doing text align to center. So whenever we are doing any input, so you can see that the search is actually at the center instead of being on the left side. I saw it somewhere, but I couldn't actually figure out how to do this, as I'm still learning about this. I'm not absolutely sure how all of this works, but you can see that your inputs is like changing the inputs and stuff. Then we have the placeholder text that's usually search something on there. I'm just removing it with this. You can see the opacity is just set to 0. So I'm just removing it. And it's like the base style for the, you can see the URL bar results is for the style of the background. I'll just remove this as it kind of makes it weird to look at, but now it will be just consistent all the way. The results will be similar to this background color, and there's no weird padding and stuff. And like I said, I need to figure a few things out, but why I'm showing you this is that it is possible to customize everything that I did. And it is, like I said, mainly generated from Gemini. I just explained it to them, and they just gave me a kind of like a template to what to work with. And I just kind of moved around a few things, a few values, and it just works. And this is the part where it's like, we're saying auto hide the entire top browser UI. So this is the hiding config. And what is saying that under the navigation toolbar, when not in focused and it is not being hovered over, the height will be 0, the opacity will be 0, the pointer events are none. So basically there, even if you put a pointer there, it won't do anything. Then the transition is max height, so it will change the max height to default value over 180 milliseconds, and opacity will be changed over 160 milliseconds. Now it's saying that show the UI when focused. So it's saying navigate to the focused within and hover. So whenever we focus it and we hover over it, it will set the max value to 200 and opacity to 1. And then pointer events auto, basically it just enables every pointer event. If we click on it, we do anything, it will just enable everything. And then you can see the transitions will be 200 and 160. Now this is basically like leftover empty paddings and margins and stuff that comes with this overall UI. So we're just removing that. Now this is a section that is like kind of beyond me, but the overall like general thing of this is like, it's just still here, like forces all text and general icons to be dynamic with foreground colors. But it just change to the foreground color, apparently, hopefully. Like it will just make the icons use the text like accent color. Basically, like every icon that the sidebar had will use the, or the top bar, every button in the entire like Firefox will use a few colors, and you can see the like sidebar icons and stuff. Everything is defined here, and it said that everything will use accent color. The stroke colors and everything will use accent color, which is basically the overall theme color. And to be honest, like I said, I'll provide this file on the GitHub repo as well, or I'll just link it. You know what, I'll just put it on the GitHub repo so you can just check it out over there. I'll just link it on the description so you guys can check this file out and kind of customize it to your needs or however you want to configure it. Now, this is really interesting, and to be honest, if I start explaining this entirely, it will take a lot of time. So I will recommend you just look up what each of them does. You can just Google it and you can just find it on Google. I couldn't find that many things on it. So if you have any robust documentation links, make sure to put it in the comments. I'll try to add it in the descriptions and stuff. But I couldn't find anything really robust without having like a million walls of text about everything else, which is great for documentation, but it's a bit too much of a read. Anyway, that gets us to the user CSS. Like I said, there is a lot to be done here, but that doesn't do this right here. How do you get something like this? It's actually, to be honest, really easy. If I open up a terminal, if I just show you something, if I do bat /dot. So the first thing I'll show you is there is literally in my Firefox config, I put a file called index.html. And this is all there is to it, which is basically, you know what, I'll just show it with code, as that just makes the whole thing like easier to show. So if I just make it full screen, where is this file? Oh, there you go. So you can see there is not too much on here. It's just basically a very simple HTML file with 2 style sheets. And this is again from Wallust. I'll show you that in a bit. And then the script is basically, it just checks if username is there. So if there is a username, it will ask for a username if you are a new user. So it will actually ask for your username. And also it will just check local storage. So if it doesn't have a username in it, it will check in the local storage if there is any local storage on there. And then it's just asks for you, enter Linux username, you enter it, and it just saves it to your local storage, and it just says get element by ID welcome and text content welcome, and adds the username. So you can see that this has an ID of welcome, and this just basically gets that and adds the username to it. And in the style section, there is not too much to look at. We just customized the body a bit, we added a background, we had a bit of a color, and these are coming from Wallust. We have the font family to JetBrains Mono, like display is flex, so it kind of flexes based on like all the other elements on the page, which is great. We have the height, we have align items to center, everything will be centered, and to be honest, that's about it. And you can add stuff to this to kind of customize it a bit more, but for me, I kept it as clean as possible. And you can see that in this section there is a bit of a keyframe, a bit of a like transition where when you open it up, it just fades in. Oh, sorry, my bad. I'll close this. If I open up Firefox, you'll see it kind of fades in a bit of like, how do I put it? Like it comes up from the bottom a bit, so it has a bit of an animation, so it doesn't look that bland. And you can actually find all of this. This is in my repo. So if I just go in here, if I go to my repository, you can see there is a folder called Firefox, and you'll find the index, scripts, and style, like the whole thing right here. You'll find it here. Even the like Wallust template, I think it's also here. So you scroll down. If you go to Wallust, you'll see that there is the toml and the templates. So if you want me to make a video about like how to configure and set up Wallust, I'll do it. But for this, all I'm doing is, you can see that there is something called colors Firefox, and I just have the template on here, and I'm just saying to Wallust, hey, put it, like if I go to the toml file, you'll see that I'm just basically saying, hey, take this like this right here and put it right here as this file. So there you go. As you can see, this is what I'm doing. So if you want to have a dynamic color scheme, then you have to use Wallust or something similar like PyWall and stuff, Wallbash. I think there's a lot of options. But whatever you do, just make sure to include it in the style. And I'm just doing this with root. I'm not really that good with CSS, but I can like go around it. And am I missing something? I don't think there is too much that I'm missing. And if I want to go through everything, it will take a really long explanation. But so I'll just do it segmented whenever I do something, whenever I'm configuring something. If I have something fun to show you guys, I'll keep you guys updated on like this setup right here. And most of the things I will try to put on that GitHub repo that you just saw. You know what? Why don't I add that file? Like it will be a bit far. Is it opening? So what I basically want to do here is I'll just open up my config, and yeah, this is basically a repo at this point. And here I just want to add. Can I just go to another file entirely? Let's see if I can add that file on here. Oh my god. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Not Firefox. It needs to be Mozilla. Firefox. This right here. Like this is the whole thing I want to add. Oh no, not this whole thing. I need to add just this right here. It is really far away. And what I can do is copy it over and just symlink it. I think I can do that. That will still work. I think I'll just copy it over. Well, I think I'll move it. Yeah, move it over. Move this to... I'll just move everything. There is like 3 files on there. So that shouldn't be too bad. No, I just want userChrome. This is the only thing I want from there. And there you go. Oh, sorry. Config. I'll put it on here. userChrome.css. There you go. Now it's moved in here. And what I will do is just pull up this command and kind of link it. So ln-s config/userchrome.css, and this should work. Hopefully, let's see. Yeah, it does work. So if I do this, it does pop up. Although the file is physically not there and it is physically here, since we are symlinking it, it's like system linking it, it should work just fine. And there is our userchrome file. So I'll, like I said, have it added onto repository itself, so you guys can also see it there. So I'll just commit and sync it. Yes, added userchrome.css. I don't know how to do this git thing, so if it's a mess, I'm sorry about that. Okay, it should just sync it now. Yeah, there you go. And now if I go to Firefox and oh my god, if I just go here, it should be available. Yeah, there you go. You can have it here, so you guys can just download it from there. If you guys want this userchrome.css, you can see everything I did is on here. So thank you guys for watching, and that will be it for me for this video. I know it's probably not something you guys were expecting, or maybe you're not satisfied, but hey, it's something I like enjoying. I'm learning about it, so that's the whole purpose of this channel, is we learn together and learn the random and chaotic things that you guys don't have to do, or you can do, you know what, whatever. But thank you guys for watching and sticking around till the end of the video if you are still here. But make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, make sure to follow me on all the socials, check out the Patreon to support this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!